Hey everybody, Gabe Soros here from Soros Tactics. I got my pointer again, okay? All right, so a couple of days ago I put up a video discussing the importance of hyper-accurate shooting, all right? And, there were a couple of guys that commented on it. And, the way I run all my social media, everybody's very respectful. We can differ in opinions, and that's fine. I think we can do that as adults without the usual nonsense that you see in other locations. You don't have to agree with me on everything. I have my reasons why I do what I do and why I believe what I believe. You don't have to share those. But if you don't, then let's discuss it, because you may know something I don't. But let's discuss it because I may know something that you don't. Okay? All right. So here we are in 2024. Okay? And I want to contrast that with, let's say, I don't know, 1984, okay? In 1984, the environment that people were concerned about did not include terrorists. It did not include gangs of southern invaders. It did not include political terrorists. It did not include all the myriad of things that 2024 has brought to us thanks to our current government, okay? And most people carried minimal equipment. They didn't spend very much time in training unless they were professionals or hobbyists. And truly, the biggest threat was probably a couple of hoodlums wanting to carjack you. I don't even think the word carjack was invented yet. Okay, so those were halcyon days when a man could drop a 5-shot revolver into his trouser pocket and go into town, and have drinks with a lady and be fine. And that 5-shot revolver would be sufficient to protect him from ruffians and scofflaws. All right, now flash forward to the day that we live in today. In 1984, was there such a thing as an active shooter? I don't think so. Were there any terrorist events in the U.S.? No. Were there a myriad of military-age males from other countries that were here specifically for the purpose of causing societal disruption, taking over apartment buildings, and all of the things that we read about today? No, there weren't. Okay, so again, one could get away with minimal preparation, minimal equipment, and so on. Now, I, Gabe Suarez, am not a minimalist. I'm a maximalist. Okay, my goal is to train others who want to be maximalist. I will never tell you in class, this is all you need. Okay, because really the only thing you need is you need food, you need water, you need shelter from the storm, and every once in a while, okay? That's all you need. Okay, now what kind of existence is that? Listen, if you want to see people living on the cusp of their needs, go down to a communist country or a third world country where people are living like they were in the Stone Age. You'll see what you really need. Okay, so then the question is, well, what could you benefit from and what do you want? Okay, well, what could I benefit from? I could benefit from having really good quality equipment. I could benefit from having fantastic skills. I could benefit from being physically fit and strong. Okay, I could benefit from all those things. Some people online think that you don't need that. Okay, now here's what happens. Okay, statistics lead to mediocrity. Okay, mediocrity is the product of that Greek philosopher, Mediocrities, whose motto was, it's good enough. Okay, don't follow that guy. He's an asshole. And he doesn't know jack shit, and he can't shoot, and he can't fight, and he can't do much of anything because his quest is mediocrity. Don't be that guy. If that's you, you know what? Erase my channel, block me on social media, because I'm never going to tell you anything that you're going to want to hear, because that is not what I want, okay? It's not what my students want. My students want to be the best, okay, at everything they attain, all right? They're not, the lower rung of success, typified by the failure to launch personality. No, these guys are successful people, business owners, doctors, attorneys, police officers, investigators, pilots, CEOs. Those are the type of people, all right, that come and train with me. So what do you want to be? You want to be mediocre, or you want to be the best fucking human being, badass son of a bitch that you can be? Okay, I think door number 2 is going to lead to a more fulfilling life. Okay, now here is how some of these people use statistics to justify their sloth. Okay, and I think that's what it is. It's sloth. All right, now the first thing they say is, well, civilian gunfights. Okay, all right, look, if you're fit, okay, and there's absolutely no fucking reason in 2024 America why you can't be, okay, and you look like a dangerous person, a dangerous target, where bad guys are going to look at you and go, you know what, I don't think I'm going to pick that guy because he's liable to do me in and then go through my pocket for loose change, okay? If you look like that, you don't have to be a man, all right? There are ladies that typify that command presence, okay? If you are that way and you don't go through life with your head stuck up in your ass, okay? You pay attention to the world around you, okay? And you are in charge of every spot that your feet take you, you know what? The people that they think are going to be the typical civilian bad guys, they're going to look at you and they're going to go, oh, hell no, okay? I learned that when I was in law enforcement. If you look like Barney Fife, everybody was going to try you. If you looked like, Jack Bauer, or you looked like a tough guy, you were going to be deselected by the bad guys, because the bad guys don't want a fair fight. They want an easy mark, okay? So most of my people are probably going to be deselected by the bad guys, okay? Now, if they're not deselected and they go after you, what kind of skills do you want? You want mediocre skills, or you want badass skills, okay? So typical civilian gunfights, I don't know what the fuck that is, but they're not the same now as they were in 1984, okay? 1984, what kind of weapons were the bad guys equipped with? Today, they're equipped with the same stuff that you have, and maybe better, okay? Maybe they have rifles. All right, so the beatnik in the parking lot with a sharpened screwdriver. No, that doesn't happen anymore. Okay, bad guys today are probably younger, bigger, stronger, better equipped, and probably have blooded themselves in combat, maybe more than you. Okay, so don't underestimate your confrontation. When I think of a typical civilian gunfight, you know what? I think I want to have something like this. And I want to have a bunch of magazines like this, okay? That's what I want for what I expect is going to be the typical civilian gunfight of 2024, okay? And here's the thing. If you get an easier test, you're going to be relieved because you prepared for a worse one, okay? All right, let me continue. Limited training time. Why? Listen, there are 24 hours in the day. I will bet you that there is no legitimate reason why every person doesn't have time every week, okay, every day to do some sort of training, and every week collectively to do strength training, cardio training, and martial training. And by martial training, I mean either hand-to-hand stuff, jiu-jitsu, MMA, or dry fire practice with your pistol. Absolutely no reason. Most people that say they don't have time, you know what? They don't have the motivation. It's not about time. It's about motivation. What do you want to be? Okay? Nothing is free. Are you a warrior today, or are you a fat slob sitting on the couch watching football? If you are the latter, don't tell me you don't have time, because you do. You have just prioritized other things in front of what I'm talking about here. Okay? Now, number 3, focus on most likely. Okay, well, let's talk about that. How many invaders have crossed north in the last few years? Okay, now I've got friends in ICE and BORTAC and a bunch of other places, and that have kind of a direct understanding of what is actually going on the southern border. And we're talking in the millions, okay? In the millions. If only 1% of those, and listen, and of those millions, there are a very large number of fit military age males, okay? And they're not all from Guatemala. They're from all over the world, okay? Do your research. If only 1% of those people are military trained terror influencers or what have you, you know what? That's what, maybe 20, 30, 50,000 people like that, okay? All right? Most likely, are you kidding me? It's a different world today, guys. Wake the fuck up, okay? All right, now, typical gun owner. I don't know what that is, okay? Somebody says, I'm a gun owner. That doesn't mean anything to me. It's like saying, well, I was in the military, or I'm a Christian. That doesn't mean anything to me. Let me see who you really are, okay? Because apparently Kamala Harris is a gun owner. Can you believe it? Okay? So gun owner doesn't mean anything to me. All right? Gun owner, I think it's the dude with the Kel-Tec in the pocket of his sweatpants walking around Walmart at 11 o'clock at night. Okay? No. That's not my market. That's not my demographic. I can't help those people. Okay? Maybe other people can, but I can't help those people. Okay? So when I hear this is like, okay, I am the lowest common denominator, low skilled, low dedication person, and no. If that's you, here's your choice. Change and devote more time to being focused on the task at hand, or just don't listen to me anymore, because I really don't have anything for you, and I'm probably going to stress you out and give you sleepless nights. Okay? So anyway, that's the truth on that. Okay? All right. Typical attacker. We already talked about that. Okay? Typical attacker. Listen, when I was in law enforcement, a couple of the guys that I ended up having gunfights with were very skilled former U.S. military. Okay, this is back in the 1990s. Okay, what about today? All right, listen. If you did a research project, okay, on all the bad guys that are out there, okay, today, all right, how many of them lift weights on a regular basis? Okay, probably a pretty high number. How many use some sort of performance enhancing drugs? Hell, we do. I bet you they do too. Okay, how many have prior military experience? Listen, not every veteran is a good person. Okay, like I said, even back in the 1990s, we were running into this all the time. Okay, how about today? Okay, we've been enriching the military industrial complex now for what, 23 years? Okay, of all the people that have served in these various wars of freedom, okay, how many of you think are bad guys? Okay, there's a per capita there. And again, all of these friendly people that we've invited into our home through the southern border, okay, how many of them are military age, have trained in the military in their own countries, either because it's compulsory or because of their own nefarious purposes, based on theological terrorism, okay? It's a different world today, okay? So my typical attacker is somebody that's younger, stronger, bigger, faster, maybe has just as much experience and just as much training as I do. You notice that every time that unprepared personnel or unprepared law enforcement come against somebody like that, they get smoked. Why? Because they're doing this over here. Their mentality is a lowest common denominator. Okay? I used to see that a lot in law enforcement training. That means that, you know what? We can only run as fast as the slowest kid. We can only be as smart as the dumbest kid, right? No, that's fucking training communism, okay? I don't want training communism. I want training excellence, and that's what I'm driving for, okay? Now, lowest common denominator, minimal commitment, minimal skills, okay? If you meet a person who has developed maximal commitment and has developed better than minimal skills, he will have your ass, okay? So my message to you is this: do not minimize the problem. Do not minimize your dedication and your devotion to making yourself better, stronger, faster, and more dangerous. It's a different world out there, okay? It's not 1984, and I wish some of these trainers would get their heads out of their asses, because they are wrong. Okay? Anyway, that's it. I'm a little bit amped up because I had pre-workout, and now I'm going to go do some squats. Why? Because I want to be a bad motherfucker. That's why. Okay? All right. Peace out.